Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Trees for the Future special anniversary live stream. My name is Lindsay Cobb. I'm on the marketing team here, and we are going to get started here in a couple minutes. We are so excited to have you all here. We are celebrating our 32nd anniversary today. That means 32 years of Trees for the Future, planting trees, changing lives. We've reached 220 million trees over the last 32 years, and it's all because of supporters like all of you. So thank you for joining us today. We're really excited to get started. While we wait for everybody to join us, I'd really love for you all to drop your name and your location in the comments. Give us a little happy birthday pat on the back. Let us know where you're joining us from. We'd really love to hear from you. We have a packed schedule today. We're going to have folks from all over the globe joining us from the Trees for the Future team. I'm really excited to have each of them on one at a time as we look back on our history at Trees for the Future through the eyes of the staff who have made all of this work and your impact possible. So I'll be introducing them as we go through the live stream. Like I said, my name's Lindsay. I'm on the marketing team. I've been here going on 3 years now, so not all 32, of course, but I'm really excited about the work that we do here, and I get to work closely with our staff from around the world telling the stories of the farmers and the farming communities that we serve. So we're really excited to be able to share some of those stories today. Now, remember that we are going to have staff coming in from around the world today, so you'll see different people over the next hour, but in between those visits, we're gonna have some birthday fun. Right now, I feel like I'm celebrating our birthday by myself here, but that's the virtual world we live in, right? So I need to bring my friends in here in a second. But remember, this is a party, and thanks to our brand partner, Conscious Step, we are going to be able to give some giveaways throughout the live stream today. So please be sure to comment in whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. Drop a comment, let us know that you're interested in the giveaway. You can tell friends to hop on, tell them to comment, and we will randomly select 3 winners from the comment section. And thanks to Conscious Step, we will be sending you a packet of socks from our awesome partner. And for those of you who don't know, Conscious Step sells ethically and sustainably produced socks, and they actually support multiple organizations, Trees for the Future being one of them. So every Trees for the Future Conscious Step sock that you purchase, you're helping plant trees. So we're excited to give those away to you today. Just remember to drop your comments in the comment section, and we'll choose some random winners throughout. Looks like we're getting a pretty full house here, so I want to get started. Please remember to stick around for each of the staff that we have joining us throughout the live stream today. And remember to stay till the end because we have a really exciting surprise. I'm going to try not to give it away, but we are really excited to give you a little special surprise here at the end of the live stream. And so let's jump right into it. Trees for the Future, like I said, is celebrating 32 years of history today. We were founded on August 18th, 1989 by Dave Deppner. We'll share a little bit more about Dave in a moment. Trees for the Future, we're training farmers in sustainable agroforestry systems called the Forest Garden Approach. We've worked all over the world in the last 32 years, and we've planted more than 220 million trees. We've helped over 150,000 people, and it's all thanks to supporters like you. So with that being said, without further ado, I'd like to introduce a clip that we have of our founder, Dave, and he's going to tell us a little bit about where we started. It's a clip from 2014, 2013, and gives us a little look at the organization from our late founder, Dave.
Over the years, I've had 11 broken bones. The day I fell off the mountainside, I had all of my bottom teeth kicked out. Bit by a cobra in Indonesia. I was kicked by a horse in Ecuador, which is, yeah, I guess it's a struggle. The world loses approximately 100,000 acres of its forests every day. Streams are drying up, the soils are depleting, and there's no fertilizer of any sort. Even the weather in these places is changing. Right now, there are over 1 billion people in the world who simply can't meet their daily nutrition standards. There's no reason for this. We have an idea called the forest garden, which is not a forest, it's not a garden. But we think it combines the best attributes of both. It produces a great amount of product sustainably on a very small piece of land. It is sending millions of roots down into the ground, which are guiding water back into underground aquifers. You have a return of diversity, you have cooled the land, cleared the air a bit, and improved the quality of life. And all of this is sustainable just by planting some seeds.
We're so excited to be celebrating our 32nd anniversary with all of you today. I can see in the comments you're joining us from around the world. We have folks joining from Tunisia, from around Africa, from around South and Central America. We have a lot of folks joining from the States. Thank you all for being here. As you just saw, our late founder, Dave Deppner, had this vision of planting trees and changing lives, and we're honored to continue that mission even today. Now, I'd like to bring in my colleague, Andrew. Andrew is the Deputy Director of Monitoring and Evaluation. Hi, Andrew, how are you? Oops, we're muted, but give it just a second.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Great, thanks, I'm doing well. How are you? Hi, everyone.
I'm great. I'm just partying in Silver Spring by myself.
Happy birthday. We're all excited.
Tell us, Andrew, for those of our audience members who tune into our live streams regularly, they have, hi, Kendall. I think Kendall was eating a peach from my peach orchard, I hope. So that's a good snack to take in the middle of the live stream. Andrew, we have a lot of folks who join us on these regularly and may have seen you join us once or twice before. Tell everybody what you do and your work here at Trees for the Future for those of the audience who might not know.
Absolutely. So yeah, my name is Andrew Zacharias. I'm the Director of Monitoring, Evaluation, and Learning at Trees for the Future. Our team is focused on collecting, organizing, and presenting impact data. What is the impact of our work? Where are we working? What kind of effect is it having on people's lives? Where can we improve? I've been active with the organization since 2010. I started as a Peace Corps volunteer, organizing tree planting groups across northern Tanzania. And I was able to work my way through the programs department and started my role of global monitoring at the organization in 2013.
And 10 plus years at the organization. I think you're one of the longest standing staff members. Congratulations. Thank you for all of your hard work in getting this organization to where it is today. Tell us a little bit about the earlier days from your perspective. You know, we saw in the clip from Dave his big vision, and over the course of this live stream, we're going to talk about how the organization has shifted its approach and learned over the years. But as you know, leading the monitoring and evaluation department, you see really that concrete evidence of the efficacy of our organization. How have you seen, well, let me ask, what is the need for that impact, and how have you seen that in the world over your time in this work as a Peace Corps volunteer and as a Trees for the Future staff member? And then how have you seen our work applied to those needs?
Absolutely. Yeah, I guess as I was bopping around the deserts of northern Tanzania, the drylands of northern Tanzania, I saw a lot of degraded soil, a lot of degraded land, people living in very degraded environments. That's a picture of a motorcycle I had rented and took west of a crossroads town called Same in Mount Kilimanjaro region. And about 10 miles west of that highway, just these soils, I've never seen anything else like it. It turns to powder, just dust. And you see it disappearing over the horizon in dirt devils that spring up. To the point where the motorcycle actually couldn't get traction. I crashed that motorcycle about a dozen times on that trip. Didn't get hurt because, I mean, you fall into the soil and you can't even call it soil, it's like falling into a pillow. It was just incredibly degraded and soft and blew away. That land had been herded on for many, many generations and was just devoid of any perennial, like, meaningful plant life. Water was scarce. Trees were very scarce. All the trees that were there were very woody and not very high in plant fodder material. and it's really highlighted the need for tree planting efforts in that area and all over Tanzania, Africa, and sub-Saharan Africa, all the places in the world that we worked at the time. I guess at the time, we were doing agroforestry and reforestation activities. Forest gardens, as we just saw with Dave, was a growing part of our portfolio. And it was really interesting to hear him talk about that. In 2013, I think the organization went through, I think that was about the period of time where we really went through a transition and focused on the forest garden approach as the most effective answer to the very real issues that we saw and that our participants lived every single day.
Mm-hmm. Since your first visits to Tanzania and other trees project locations in the early days of your time at the organization, and understanding for our audience that our work has shifted, that we've grown and developed to be as impactful as possible. And today we're using the forest garden approach. How has the landscape and the soils, how has that all changed in places like Tanzania, where farmers have been implementing the forest garden approach for some time now?
Yeah, absolutely. I gotta say, it was really exciting to be a part of this organization during this time period, because I was able to take my experience from the field and work with my colleagues in the field to develop out these monitoring and evaluation systems, identify the metrics and the capabilities that we have in the field in these kind of last mile environments, and create a custom system that lets us identify these high value metrics and track them consistently and accurately. When I started, reporting was a lot of report writing and Word documents, and you weren't sure if it ever got read and filed away, and pulling these numbers back up at the end of the year and the end of the 2-year, 3-year reporting cycle for a project, it just became very difficult. Today, it's completely different. As you know, like, technology has entered so many different parts of our lives from 2010.
Mm-hmm.
We carry around computers in our pockets that do more than they did 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And we have grown with that. We use these technologies to capture data about the areas that we plant, the people that we plant with, their households, their food consumption, their income, and we're even now getting into drones as well, making 3D models of forest gardens to track above ground biomass, to measure leaf area index, canopy cover, getting these high level empirical data sets that can prove the impact of the forest garden approach.
Mm-hmm. And Andrew, I tell you all the time, but your drone photos and the ability that what you've made possible in the last few years of the before and after comparisons of our work, it's so powerful. And I know the folks watching today, because, on the marketing team, we're behind the social media channels, we see how much you all love these photos, and Andrew and his team are the ones who are capturing this imperative data to prove the effectiveness of the work. And 32 years is a celebration. It's a birthday party. We're having a great time. But this milestone is also to convey that we really have put a lot of thought into this work, that you and your team are showing exactly what forest gardens and donors are making possible. So thank you.
Absolutely, and I think you and I thank our audience for the opportunity to do this as well. I'm really thankful for the chance to grow the capacity of our organization to monitor and report these different activities, and grow the capacity of our employees. We are in the process of registering and licensing some of the first Tanzanian pilots in the world, drone pilots in the world. Same for East Africa and West Africa, where we are really doing some cutting edge stuff here, and I'm so excited to be a part of it once again.
Same, me too. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I think we're going to say goodbye to you, Andrew, and we're going to move on to our next team member. So thank you again, and I'm sure we'll have you back on again soon.
Thank you, Lindsay, and thanks everyone for coming. Happy birthday, trees.
Thanks, Andrew. All right. Well, always a joy to talk to Andrew. We have Gabe up next, but first, I don't know if I can do a drum roll and mess with the microphone on my computer or not. But as y'all heard, if you were here from the beginning today, we are giving away 3 packs of Conscious Step socks. These are Trees for the Future Conscious Step socks from our brand partner. And the first winner is Jason Michael Walker. Congratulations, Jason. I don't know if my drum roll messed up my microphone or not. I'll try to contain my excitement the next time around. So thank you, Jason, for entering. Thank you, everybody else, for entering. Make sure to continue commenting. If you didn't win this round, we're going to give away another set after we speak with Gabe. So go ahead, comment again, share with your friends on your Facebook page and ask them to comment. We can get more eyes on our birthday celebration, tell more people about our work, and of course, give you some socks in the process. So congratulations, Jason, and good luck to the next randomly selected winner. So as Andrew really set the stage for us, research and data collection has really been a key part in proving how important and how effective our work is at Trees for the Future. Trees for the Future is training farmers in sustainable agroforestry techniques, along with a forest garden approach to repair degraded land, effectively ending hunger and poverty, and repairing degraded soils and protecting our environment. So it's incredible, impactful work that you are helping us achieve as a supporter of Trees for the Future. And we are so thankful for your support and for being with us here on our 32nd anniversary celebration. So as Andrew alluded to, there was a shift in 2013 and 2014. Dave Deppner, who we heard from in the beginning of our live stream, was our founder. And in 1989, he had this important vision, this beautiful dream of planting trees and changing lives. And we did that for decades, working with local communities, with volunteers around the world, providing farmers with seeds, helping them understand agroforestry and planting trees on their land to restore the health of their land. But over the years, in that first 25 years, which we call our research years, and it's okay to have 25 years of research. It makes sure that we know what we're doing and that what we're doing is working. And so over those years, we really learned what was helping farmers and what was sustainable. And that turned out to be the forest garden approach. Enter John Leary, our now executive director. John was, and this is a farmer in Senegal with his family in their forest garden that you see here. Now, John is a returned Peace Corps volunteer as well. You'll hear us talk about Peace Corps a lot. We have a ton of alum in the Trees for the Future community. John knew Dave and they worked together closely, and John was very passionate about the forest garden approach. And when he came on as executive director in 2013, we had as a team a real inward look at our approach and what was making the most impact. And that's when you see the scale of our work sort of shift, where we were in countries all over the world. We scaled back and we focused on proving how impactful and how effective the forest garden approach is for farmers. You'll see a lot of pictures from Senegal from that time period as we really scaled up our programs and our training methodology in Senegal with the forest garden approach. So on that note, I'd like to bring in Gabe, and Gabe is a very unique member of our team because he's been here, if you can believe it, started even before Andrew. Hi, Gabe. Tell us a little bit about your work and your history with Trees for the Future and how you've come back to us in recent months.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you, Lindsay. Thanks for inviting me. This is great. Happy birthday, Trees. Congrats to Jason on the socks. Yeah, as you said, I've been with Trees for a while. I came on in 2008. I actually remember our 20th birthday, celebrating that in 2009. So yeah, it's been exciting. I started as a business partnerships coordinator based in Silver Spring. And soon after that, the following year, I moved to Africa, and similar to Andrew, sort of worked my way through programs. I was managing the Ethiopia program for a long time before then sort of climbing up and taking on more responsibility, managing more of our Africa programs. And then around the time, I think after John Leary came on as executive director, I took over as director of programs for a few years. Then my family and I moved to Myanmar, so I took a short hiatus from trees for a few years. I was working there with Catholic Relief Services and have come back now, and it's been great working with trees again now for the past 6, 7, 8 months now. Yeah.
Okay, 8 months. I meant to ask that before we got on. And Gabe's name comes up in, you know, our reporting systems. You see his fingerprints on things that he did when he was here in the past. And when you came back on the team after your short hiatus, the folks who had worked with you before were so excited. And so all of us who had not had the pleasure of working with you knew there was something good coming along. So thanks, Gabe, for being with us. Thank you for all you've done to get the organization to where it is today. I wanted to go back to Ethiopia, actually, and have you just share some of your unique, you know, you have this this history with the organization, and you can look back and share this unique perspective with us. Tell us a little bit about the work that you did in Ethiopia.
Okay, yeah. So I spent 7 years working in Ethiopia, and it was amazing country, amazing partners. At the time, it was one of our biggest country programs. It might have been our biggest program, I think, then. And we were doing really cool work there. One of our projects was in Konso, in the dry Rift Valley of southern Ethiopia. It's up in the mountains, but an incredible place. And the Konso people are just so inspiring and hardworking and just interesting and fun, just such an incredible culture. And, you know, they really understood conservation agriculture long before it was a concept. Centuries ago, they began covering entire mountainsides and terraces to conserve moisture and prevent their precious topsoils from washing into the Rift Valley, as you see there. They planted trees and coffee and false banana, ginger, all these perennials along these stone terraces. It was just incredible to see. And then, you know, of course, that was intercropped with various grains that they planted. They also had homestead gardens filled with diverse trees, you know, fruits, timber, apple trees, mango trees, avocado trees, moringa. It was just impressive alongside, you know, garden crops and livestock and things. And you still see a lot of examples of this in Konso today. And due to these practices, these mountainsides are still productive hundreds of years after they started cultivating them, and they've been under continuous cultivation. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, over the last couple of generations, farmers around the world have been encouraged to adopt these truly harmful agricultural systems that are just based on short-sighted policies and commercial interests, and they're terrible for farmers and for the environment, to the extent that even places like Konso have largely shifted from their heritage of sustainable practices. So I remember, it was great that you played that clip from Dave Deppner. It's nice to hear his voice again. It's been a long time. But anyway, I remember having a conversation with him years ago, not long after I started, back at our Silver Spring office. And this guy, as you could tell from the clip, he's passionate about the work we do and the work with farmers, working with farmers, and his stories and his experiences were just inspiring and infectious, you know. And I remember him telling me one day, he said something like, you know, we don't have to invent sustainability. If you want to see it, go out and meet farmers. And that's really always resonated with me. You know, there are examples of farmers managing their land sustainably all over the world. And that's what I saw there in Ethiopia, in Konso. And what we were really trying to do there was to reintroduce these practices that have worked for so long, but were really being forgotten as the population grew and took on more land and for agriculture. And so we were trying to reintroduce these practices that have worked for so long. And it's from examples like that in Konso that our forest garden approach is really built from. So what Trees has done has been to identify these systems, through the research that you talked about. And, we've been doing that, I would say, and we'll continue to do that. And we've identified these systems that have proven over and over again to be effective and sustainable. And we've learned from farmers, as Dave had envisioned, and have designed strategies and a training program that can be effectively delivered and scaled to give farmers really the resources they need to reverse the damage that's been done. This approach is helping farmers to take control of their land and resources again in a way that provides long-lasting benefits to them and to their children, to future generations. It's really fantastic to see, and I'm so excited to be a part of it.
Me too. Yeah, it's that industrialization of agriculture, right? Encouraging farmers, like you said, with different incentives or policies, and really veering away from what makes agriculture sustainable in the first place, with your example from Ethiopia and those mountainsides. So I think it's a really important thing for people to remember, and to inform and educate themselves on. I saw a couple questions in the comments as you were chatting about One Shot, John Leary's book, and we can definitely share that link in the comments to give you all a place to go and snag that book and learn more about these issues that Gabe is talking about. And there are so many books and resources to learn about the challenges farmers face. And as you educate yourself, apply what Trees for the Future is doing, and see how our work fits into that. And Gabe, can you touch on that? How does Trees for the Future's forest garden approach and the programs and the trainings that we've built over the years, especially for someone like you who was here back in 2008 and the early 2010s, and now coming back and seeing Trees for the Future at this milestone of 32 years, how is the forest garden approach working out for farmers in the countries where we work?
It seems to be working really well. Unfortunately, I came back on it, at a time that we're unable to travel to the field. So, I've only seen pictures and of course talked to our staff, and, it's amazing how much we've grown in the past few years, even since I've left, and how Trees has continued to adapt and improve the forest garden approach, over those past several years. Our training center has done a wonderful job with outreach and training and expanding the library of resources that we have. But yeah, it's, from what I see, it seems to be doing really well. The stories we hear from farmers, there's been a lot of positive feedback. Yeah, and again, understanding how these systems work and how, you get these trees in the ground, you diversify things, and it really does. There are a few cases where it isn't, really effective. And the fact that, we've grown the program so much over the past few years, 25,000 forest gardens now, that's truly impressive. Yeah, it's making a huge impact. And, there are some monumental challenges that farmers face with water scarcity, pests, and, climate change, of course. And we're really at the front line, with our training team's help and working with, all of our staff on the ground that are so hard at work and engaging these farmers who are really doing the work. And we're trying to solve these problems. We're applying various solutions and trying to figure out what's best. It's not always working, but we're in terms of, people are always going to have these water challenges, and it's going to continue to get worse. But we're, like I said, we're really at the forefront of solving these problems on the ground, and it's a learning process, but we're really on the right track.
Absolutely. And it's, like you said, it's the farmers doing the work, it's the staff doing the training and coordinating, and it's the supporters and the donors who are making all of it possible. So thank you, Gabe, so much for sharing your insight, your perspective, your time with the organization. We're so glad to have you back on the team. And thanks for stopping in and chatting with us today.
Thank you, Lindsay. I appreciate it. Have a nice day.
You too. All right. So we're about at a half-hour mark, and I want to make sure to get to our surprise ending Again, I'm not going to give it away. I won't give it away. You'll have to stick around. So we want to make sure that you're all commenting either on Facebook or on YouTube to enter for a chance to win a set of Conscious Step socks that help plant trees. Jason was our first winner, and now announcing our second winner is Pam, our very own ambassador, Pam Agulo. Congratulations, Pam. We're so excited that you were randomly selected for this giveaway. Pam, just a quick thank you, is a fantastic ambassador of Trees for the Future and uses her voice and platform to really propel our message. So we're very grateful, and I'm very excited that you got randomly selected. She says, "Oh my gosh, yay, yay." I'm really glad that you were chosen for this giveaway. But that's not the last one. So everybody who still wants to grab one last pair of Conscious Step sustainably made socks with trees on them, please comment in Facebook or YouTube, and you will be entered for a chance to win the last set. So far we've chatted with Andrew and Gabe. Andrew, Gabe, thank you so much for sharing your experiences with Trees for the Future and helping our audience understand the work that we do and its impact. I want to jump over now to field staff and introduce some of our field technicians. We're going to start in Kenya with Carol. Carol, how are you?
Hi. Hi, everybody. I'm fine, Lindsay. My name is Karen Jama, a technician from Kenya. Actually, my project is in Kiambu County, located at Ndeya.
Well, it's great to have you on, Carol. I am so excited. Just to let everybody know, we have a little bit of a delay between mine and Carol's signal, so hopefully that doesn't cause an issue, but we'll try to avoid it. So Carol, like she said, is an assistant tech, and she's in Kenya. We have training staff like you, Carol, across our project countries. We work in 9 countries, and we have dedicated staff in most of those countries. Tell us a little bit about your work as a technician in IQNU and what you do on a regular basis.
Well, we are a team of 3. Shout out to my lead technician, Nancy Wambui, and my colleague, John Kingori. Our project is IQNU 4 at Ndeya. Well, on a daily basis, my position is mostly I do follow-ups with the farmers. I issue tools in case we are issuing tools. I also organize trainings together with my colleagues. And basically, I actually communicate to the lead farmers directly and ask them to come in for meetings. So that these lead farmers actually will go and organize and mobilize their farmers and actually alert them on when the meetings and the trainings will be scheduled. So basically, that's my work. And also, I'm actually innovative. We always come up with ideas that will actually help farmers. So it's a learning process, yes.
Yeah, I love your enthusiasm, Carol. One of my favorite parts of my job is seeing photos and videos from the field. And whenever you pop up in a picture, I just smile because you're enthusiastic.
Thank you.
Tell us what, and understanding that COVID-19 is a challenge right now, but what are farmers in Kenya and in IQNU and your projects working on right now? What are they up to, and what are staff working on them with?
At the moment, we are doing permagardening. Across Kiambu, we are doing permagardening. And since COVID is restricting us because the cases are actually increasing, so we actually do videos. We are actually working on videos at the moment so that we can send them to the lead farmers, and the lead farmers can actually send them to the farmers. Yes. So we are still actually working.
Yes, absolutely. No, the work doesn't stop, right?
Yes, it doesn't stop. Yes.
And we really started introducing video training at the start of COVID, and it's been really successful across our program countries to make sure that farmers are getting the guidance they need to implement their forest garden approach on their own land. So thank you for being a part of that, Carol. Yesterday we were talking about different farmers that you work with, and I'd love for you to tell our audience about the farmer that you were sharing her story with me yesterday.
Well, I have farmers are actually doing well. The encouraging thing is that they actually took the forest garden concept like their own. Farmers in there are usually they did monocropping usually, but when we came back then in 2020, we gave them a review of what has been done before, and they actually accepted it. And they have this particular farmer called Mogore Mode. She's a farmer in Lucy Mogore Mode. She's a farmer in Jikaze Farmer Group. She's a bit aged. She's 68 years old. And before Trees for the Future, she used to do monocropping, planting maize, but there are no rains, no food security. But right now, we've trained her about composting, we've trained her about nurseries. She actually does prepare good nursery beds. She does composting frequently, and actually she has more than 2,000 trees on the live fence. We've actually done the first phase of protection. So after now, the phase now, as I mentioned earlier, we are doing palm gardening. It's actually diversification, the second phase. So first phase is actually she grasped it well. So we're waiting to see how she's going to do in the second phase. But so far, so good. I'm encouraged.
Here. And farmers like Lucy, and this is a photo of a training that farmers like Lucy attend. And Carol, when farmers learn about the forest garden approach, what's their energy like? Are they excited for these changes in their techniques to improve their land? What's the learning curve?
Yes, actually they are excited because farmers are actually going to call you and say, "Teacher, I have produce. Have some. I've taken some. I'm giving you some. I have shared with the neighbors. I am sharing with you as the technicians, and I'm selling surplus." We've actually seen children going to school. We've actually seen farmers dressing well, because when you do monocropping, there's no much difference. But actually, not only the appearance, actually even the farms themselves, they have improved tremendously, and they are beautiful. Yes.
And I am so excited. I am so excited
Yes.
one day to get to see one with you in time.
Yes.
Carol,
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining us. Your training and guidance of farmers throughout your region is so incredibly impactful, and I'm so honored to work with you, and I thank you for your hard work and your dedication and for joining us today.
Thank you, and happy birthday, Trees. Thank you.
Happy birthday, Trees. Bye, Carol. All right, and then we have one more guest before our very special surprise. I'm just patting myself on the back for not giving it away so far. So our next guest is Kemi, another field staff member. But first, we have our third and final giveaway, and I'm seeing that our last randomly selected winner is Ellen Mary. Ellen, congratulations. That's another Trees for the Future ambassador to win our randomly selected giveaways. So Ellen, you've got a pack of Conscious Step socks with trees on them coming your way soon. So thank you so much, Ellen, for all that you do to support trees and elevate our message as an ambassador. Ambassadors have been a theme today, so all of you watching who are interested in maybe helping elevate trees messaging, definitely learn about our ambassador program and join the ranks of Ellen and Pam, and I see Kathy watching today. Thank you all for your ongoing support. Now, we're very close to our special surprise. I'll give one hint. Peter from our Kenya team is joining us, but I'll leave it at that. And next, we are inviting Kemi on from our Uganda team. I'm so excited to see Kemi. Kemi, how are you? I know we might have a delay, so I don't want to talk too much. Can you hear me, Kemi? All right, I'll give it another second. Let me see if Kemi can update her signal and just introduce a little bit about her work and see if she can pop in. So as we've been talking about today, local staff like Kemi here, who we really want to hear from, and like Carol, are key in our success at Trees for the Future. They're training staff regularly on a daily basis. In the last year and a half, they've been doing a lot of this virtually, through videos, through phone calls. In an ideal situation, they're meeting for in-person trainings, but their dedication and their commitment to the farmers in our program is just incredible. Kemi, to introduce her for you all while we wait to see if her signal kicks back on. Kemi actually studied forestry at university and has extensive knowledge about this subject matter, and has been the lead tech for our Mount Elgon 3 projects for quite some time now. I see you moving. Can you hear me, Kemi? I think your microphone might be muted. I want to hear from you so badly. Shoot. Okay. We're going to see if we can, one more try, Kemi. Can you hear me? Okay. I think there's some type of delay in her audio. So we're going to try to figure this out on the back end. And I think what we're going to do is get ready for our surprise. And then if we can have Kemi back on at the very end, I would love to hear from her. Kemi was sharing photos with me yesterday to prepare for this live stream, and talking about the farmers that she works with. And one farmer in particular, Fred, who's a 17-year-old young man who joined the program because his father, who is a farmer, was ill. And so they wanted to join the program and see how they could improve their livelihood through the forest garden approach. And to hear Kemi talk about Fred, this is Fred here. Again, he's 17 years old, and he is already a hugely successful forest garden farmer in our program. He took the seeds and the training that he received from Trees for the Future and ran with it like you wouldn't believe. He had incredible success with his first harvest, used that income, used the harvest to feed his family. I believe, I think maybe it was tomatoes was the first crop he planted. And so his father and he fed the family with that first harvest, sold it for a profit, and then used that income to buy more seeds. And then the next harvest that is happening, month after month, they're making a profit from that. And now they're at the point where they've purchased some goats, and they're really building their savings and their ability to make a life for themselves. And so we're really happy to see Fred's success. And Kemi, thank you so much for training farmers like Fred and making it a possibility. Oh, wait, I see Kemi. Will we have her to join us before we go to Peter? Kemi, can you hear me? I can see you moving, Kemi, but I don't see you talking. Try saying hello for me. Yeah, I worry that Kemi can't hear me, I think is the problem. So we're going to have Kemi on next time because she has a ton of amazing stories to share. And again, Kemi, we're so grateful for your work on the Trees for the Future team. And thank you for taking the time to join us. I'm really bummed we couldn't get you on for the live stream today, but we'll definitely have Kemi on again in the future. So I think that all being said, we are going to go ahead and introduce our next guest and our big surprise that we have been waiting for this entire time. So I want to introduce Peter Kingori. He's on our Kenya team, and remember, we're working with a time change. So we're working all over the world. So it's dark in Kenya right now. Peter, how are you? Oh, you're muted. Go ahead and unmute yourself. And maybe.
I think I'm okay now.
We're good. Okay, Peter, welcome. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, everyone?
We're great. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Trees for the Future. So, as all of you can see, Peter is joining us from the field, and our big surprise is a anniversary tree planting. So Peter's with staff in the field at a training site before we plant these trees. Peter, I would love for you to introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about the importance of training as you join us from a training site today, this evening.
Yeah, thank you, Kendall, and thank you, everyone. And good morning, good evening. Yes, it is a surprise. I'm in the field right now, actually directly in our training site. Training is one important aspect for forest garden, because this is the foundation where the farmers will get the information, the knowledge, and the skills on how to implement the forest garden. So training being the foundation, when we recruit our staff, they will go through a TOT. They get the foundation of facilitating, how they can conduct a training with the farmers. Then they cascade the information to our farmers. They let them understand and know the knowledge that they get. So training becomes the key foundation of the whole aspect of the forest garden approach.
Fantastic. And when you talk about TOTs, meaning training of trainers, we're spending a lot of time investing in the knowledge of the staff to make sure that it is passed on to the farmer, and we're really effectively rebuilding these local food systems in a sustainable, long-lasting way. What is the tell us a little bit about the training sites that you're currently at. Our training site in Kiambu, Kenya. We have training sites across our program countries. What are our training sites being used for, and why are they a valuable resource for the Trees for the Future community and the agricultural communities where we work?
Thank you, Lynn, for that question. Yes. As we do our forest garden approach, as we get it to the farmers, the first thing is that we bring farmers on board, a few farmers on board. So maybe not every other person who is interested in practicing maybe forest garden cannot do that. So what we do, we kind of bring on forest garden training site as a model where everyone else can pop in, learn an element, learn the whole aspect of forest garden, learn a few things on how he can practice forest garden in his farm. So this is an area where Trees for the Future found it fit to capture everyone interested in this aspect of the forest garden. So the one in Kiambu, the one in Homa Bay, the one in Tambora, the one in Bale, the ones in Senegal allow any other person to pop in, learn, and go and practice what forest garden is. And it's also an easier way to make sure we also getting closer to the 1 billion trees we are expected to plant by 2030. So this is a bigger capture of our people.
Absolutely, because these training sites, themselves are forest gardens. They're perfect demonstration sites. So we applaud your work on building this training site and establishing it, and creating this valuable resource for the community with the Kenya team. All right, without further ado, because we're running out of time, Peter, we would love to have you take us on this special tree planting surprise in honor of our 32nd birthday.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, this is a great day. This is a great achievement that 32 years down the line, Trees for the Future has continued planting trees and training farmers, feeding the people, feeding everybody, making sure people are getting money. And one thing that we are proud of is that we are planting trees to make things work. So today, at this hour, we are going to plant trees. We're going to see people plant trees at night for the passion and dedication that our staff have for the sake of making sure our farmers are achieving. So we are going to directly go to our planting session. I want to kind of click and change the photo.
There we go.
So here we are. Everybody is set to plant trees here. I hope you're seeing me. So we have our team around, all of them ready to plant these trees. We have dedicated some trees for our people. The first tree that you're going to plant is for our supporters. We've had our supporters assisting us so much to make sure so many farmers are eating, so many people are achieving income. and our environment is also working and servicing people. So thank you so much to those who have supported all of us and making sure many farmers out there, many families out there are eating, feeding well, taking their kids to school, dressing their kids, and also making sure that the environment is working. So these first trees are dedicated to our supporters. Then we have a few others people, all our leadership in trees, everybody in trees, starting with our founder Dave, did a very great job to get us here. The John leadership has been so amissive. We've been doing very well under his leadership. Everybody at the HQ, all our colleagues everywhere in West Africa, Central Africa, East Africa, thank you so much for your dedication for making this happen. So we also have these people who are also planting trees for us. Again, we also get our partners. Our partners also have helped us really plant trees. They add up to what we need. So this is for our trees for the future partners. And we also saying thank you to them and thank you to everyone. Thank you that all of us, that is happening. So we also have everybody coming in for us and supporting us. We have this team too. We have all these candles denoting 32 years of dedication to tree planting. So we have the 32 candles. We have the 32 balloons, all for the 32 years. So without much ado, we are going to start off planting our trees. With a count of 32 seconds, everybody will have planted their tree and watered it and start dancing around. So we can see people doing it. So this is our colleague, our technician Jane, doing for our supporters. Very happy about the support we get. We have Nancy, also very happy doing for our supporters. We have Vincent also, very happy for our supporters. We have Esther for the betterment and planting for our staff, all our leadership. We have Millicent planting for our partners. We have Paul watering for our partners too. You simply saying thank you so much to everyone. Thank you so much to the HQ for all that you've done to all of us. Thank you. Is 32 seconds over? 32 seconds. So nobody was counting. So are we good?
Yes, we are good.
So can we all say thank you to our supporters for all of this? And we shout thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, can we also dance?
Thank you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear birthday. Happy birthday to you. Pirita, 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 pirita.
Woo!
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Peter and team. That was
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you.
You all did such a wonderful job. I'm not gonna lie, I teared up a little bit. The comments coming in are amazing. Everyone is so supportive of this work and so appreciative of you putting on this tree planting, Peter. Thank you to you and your team again for putting this celebration together. It was beautiful. And we definitely want to do it again soon. Thank you so much, everybody. I can't I just want to reach through and hug you all. I can't wait to see you hopefully soon. And you know, we really appreciate all of the incredible work that you do.
Thank you.
So thank you to our audience today for tuning in for really what was one of my favorite, it was my favorite live stream we've done so far. I need to go get some tissues and try not to get too emotional on our 32nd birthday. As you can see, we have a team that is so dedicated to the work that we're doing at Trees for the Future, and we are committed to making your support go as far as it possibly can. You did this. You make this possible by being a supporter of Trees for the Future, and we cannot thank you enough. We reached an amazing milestone today with 32 years, and we still have so much work and years of impact ahead of us, and we hope that you will help us reach our goals over the years as we go into the future. For those of you who don't know, we have a 2030 goal to plant 1 billion trees by 2030. So right now we're at over 220 million trees planted around the world, and we're looking to reach the 1 billion mark by 2030. And our incredible staff and the farmers we serve make those trees, plant those trees in the ground, and you as the supporter make it possible for us to provide the training, to provide the resources, to provide the tools. So in honor of our 32nd birthday, we ask that you give a donation today to Trees for the Future in support of where we've been and where we're going. We can't do it without you. We're so grateful for your support. Remember, any amount helps. If you have been considering becoming a monthly donor, today's a great day to do that. That's an incredibly sustainable way to support our work by joining the Sustainer Circle and becoming a monthly donor, or just give a one-time donation today. Either one is great and impactful, and we appreciate your support, whatever the level. Thank you all for tuning in today. If you don't subscribe to our newsletter on email, please make sure you do. We sent out a great timeline today to go back through the last 32 years, and we'll share that again later on. So please remember to subscribe to our newsletter so you can get those great updates. Thank you all again for being here with us. We are so excited to share this milestone with you, and we couldn't have gotten here without you. Thanks to the team members who joined me today, and thanks, Kendall, for coordinating on the back end. We thank you all. Happy birthday, Trees, and I'll leave you with this last little word from Dave. Thanks.
Grace and I have 9 children, and we have 17 grandchildren. These children are going to grow up, as children all over the world are doing, in a much, much different world. We could be planting more than 500 million trees a year. It's possible. There are that many people out there waiting for something. All it takes is getting the word around and creating some confidence that it can be done. I learned a long time ago in this business not to ever use the word never, because as soon as you say never, some guy's going to come down off the mountainside and say, guess what I just did? It's amazing what one seed can grow.